This is Matrix Lord 212, and this video is about the fall of retail as we know it. Back in the day, when we worked in retail, or if anybody ever worked in retail, they know that they instilled in us customer service values. Greet each other, greet customers within 29 seconds, always trying to identify what customers want and need, and ring them up as quickly as possible, tie in merchandise, and make sure that their shopping experience was wonderful, where we get return customers, and also deal with them very quickly so we can help the next customer. This day and age, and I just went to the store to buy Anthony another video game, and it wasn't like GameStop. It was like, I don't want to mention the name, but it was some other place, like a toy store, I'm going to say. And there is no customer service whatsoever. You go in there, there's no payroll for anybody. You have a few straggling workers that are talking to each other or whatever. And you go to the department that has the video games, and, there was somebody there. I asked him a question. I went back to turn around the aisle to grab him to get the video game. He was gone. So now I'm walking around the whole entire store looking for a worker that is nowhere to be found anybody. I finally go to the front desk. I finally ask them to page someone to the video game department. I go back there. I'm waiting. Then the guy is coming back from the front, and then he's having a conversation with someone else. And then it's like dragging ass to come to me. Okay, I'm talking... I gotta actually work for a living and help this guy? I mean, that's only my job, right? This is absurd and ridiculous that you have these kids working, okay? They're making, probably minimum wage, and they don't even understand the value of working or their job. And it looks like all these rules that I learned when I was in retail, that I've been in retail for 20 years, are out the window. Companies don't want to pay employees. They take away registers. I mean, if you go to these major department stores that are connected to malls and stuff, they take away registers. Where there used to be registers in every part, now the lines are down the friggin' thing. And then some places don't even want to have registers. They want to have like an Apple type of thing when they scan your stuff, because they want to save money for a cash wrap. Retail is going out the window. Places are closing. Why? Because there's no customer service. There is nobody. When I'm going to try on a shirt, there used to be somebody that had the friggin' thing around their neck, ready to friggin' measure my waist, my legs, everything, my neck. Now you got to go searching for an employee, and it's annoying. It's really, really annoying that you got to waste time looking for an employee, that they don't even have that anymore. They got to go in the room and get like a tape measure or something. Like, even if you're buying a suit or whatever, and it's just annoying. And then when you ask them, oh, do you have this? Like, no, everything's out. There is no, oh, there's nothing in the back. So what happens? All of a sudden, we don't have stock rooms anymore, where you could just go in the back and get it? Is that the way it is now, that people don't want to order things either? Or is it just that laziness that they don't want to go in the back and get the shirt that would make the company have the sale that's paying you the salary in the first place? Okay? And I think all companies need to look at this. This is a disgrace. I would hope that this video goes on a company's training session. Okay, because I was trained. Customer service is so important. You have to make the customer feel welcome into your store. You have to make the customer feel happy for their shopping, experience. And you want to be quick cashiers, get them in and out. And if they don't have something, then try to order it if you can, and make sure they get it the next time they come in. But they don't have that anymore. There's not, majority of the places I go, they don't have that, okay? They have a lot of young kids working that the managers are probably terrible, because they're not even training them, because the managers are probably not happy. Just like I've experienced at a lot of places. Managers are not happy with the companies they work for, because the companies are so damn greedy that they try to make people work like 60, 70 hours, not pay them because they're salary, try to make them cancel their vacations. And I've been there. I've worked for companies that I had one guy one time tell me that if I take my scheduled planned vacation that was approved, that I'm not going to have a job when I come back. And this is after not taking vacation for like over a year and a half. Okay? This is disgusting. This is the disgusting thing of retail. that I don't even want my kids to work in retail. That's how bad it is. It's terrible. Who wants to deal with that? And then you're working your whole life. When you're 18, you don't realize you're working in these places. You're lifting heavy things on your back, carrying things around. When you get to like 10 years later or 15 years later, your back is like aching, your knees are aching, all because you were killing yourself when you're 18. For what? When I was 18, what did I make? $4.25 an hour? And now years later, if I would have problems with my back or anything like that because of working $4.25 an hour, it's terrible. It takes like, what, 20, 30 years for minimum wage to go up, and now what is it, like $7.25 or something? Or 50 cents? That's terrible. For like 20 years? Terrible, man. That's terrible. You know, and then they have these laws that they put into place because, you know, they want everybody to have health insurance, right? So they say that everybody's forced to have medical if you're full-time, and they're making full-time where it's not 40 hours, it's like 25 or 30. So what do the companies do? They're like, oh, hell no, we're not doing this. The people that are getting paid $38, 30 hours or 35 hours are going to get paid like 20. Right an hour under the thing. And they're going to hire more people. That's terrible. And people start having less money. They get discouraged. And the stuff that's supposed to make America better is not. You know? Because I've seen these companies do it. I heard them saying it. Oh, well, now, from now on, our employees are not going to be like 25 to 35 hours. They're going to be 20 hours. That's terrible. And these poor people get cut. Or they're forced to be promoted that they don't want to really be promoted, because then they're more expendable when they're an assistant manager or whatever, and then they're at the whim of anybody that they say that they have things to write them up to get them rid of them, but it's basically you're at a whim of somebody having an attitude, ego problem, and then you lose your job. And I've seen that happen plenty of times. So retail it's just stinks now, and it needs to change. All these places are going out of business because there's no customer service. There is no product. I mean, back in the day, I used to go in Best Buy, and they used to have everything I wanted. Now they're afraid to order anything, so you go in there and they never have anything I want. That I would have to buy it on Amazon or something else. So retail is going down the tubes, man. Retail companies are going out of business. Retail is going down the tubes. Everybody's going to, you know what's going to happen? Everybody's going to order everything online. And then we're gonna turn, because there's not gonna be need to have stores anymore. Might as well turn everything back to farm country, with fields and trees and everything else, with laptops and computers everywhere. Because what's the sense having stores? You know, if they're not gonna have people to service the customers, might as well just close the stores down and just close all the stores down, make it like fields. Really, it's like the reverse. Like, I don't understand. You know, and what's the purpose of having a home phone if you have a cell phone? Really? You don't need a home phone anymore, do you? That's going out the window, and even TVs. What's the sense of having a TV when everybody's on their laptops? Really? You could do a lot more, unless they make the TVs where they make it like laptops, where you can go on YouTube and all kinds of other stuff. Internet and TV already. So, anyway, society's changing. Retail stores are going out of business. No customer service at all, and I think it needs to change. And hopefully somebody will be watching this video as part of major corporations, and they can fix the problem. They can give the payroll, so that way you have people there. And also check on your hours. If you don't have customers at like 11 o'clock at night, don't open up till 11 o'clock at night. You know, open up at 9 o'clock at night. You know, and you don't need to have, like, certain places have midnight releases for things. You know what a waste of payroll that is when like 5 people come in? You don't need to do that, you know? Save payroll, okay? Save payroll, all right? But the one thing that really strikes me is that I remember back in the day when I was a stock person, okay? And they says, oh my God, we can never ever open up late ever, right? They would have a heart attack if they opened up the store 9 o'clock on the dot, like the managers. They would like, oh my God, I got to open up like 30 seconds early just in case. You know, even banks, they would open up, boom, right before a minute or two before they're supposed to open. Nowadays, you have places that so lackadaisy, they open up a minute, 2 minutes later, 5 minutes later. One time I tried to get in the mall, they didn't open up until like 10 minutes later to connect the mall to the department store. It was disgusting. And I noticed this is like a virus, where it's not a sense of urgency to open up a store on time. It's not a sense of urgency to close a store on time. People want to close the store early. Why do you got to close the store early if you're supposed to be open until 9:30? Why are you closing it at 9:20? Why do you got the gate halfway down? Why? That's saying, hey, you don't give a crap about the customer, and you want everybody out. And these kids need to understand that this is the place that's paying their salary. You need customers so that when the company does business, okay, and then you can have a job, then you could evolve. You have to be happy where you're working too. Okay, so these people are run by kids, and the kids are not trained properly where they're doing their own thing. And they close the store like 9:20. It's terrible. You know how many times it sucks that you have to take the bus and you have to run to the store? Not like, because I have to take the bus now. I don't have a car. So I'm running to the store and they closed already, like 10 minutes early. You know how annoying that is? That's annoying. That's annoying. And then you know what happens? Like, say with me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to go to that store again. I won't. Same thing if you order pizza. If you order pizza and the pizza doesn't come in a half hour, and it comes like an hour later, you just don't order from that place. Or you don't order from them for a while. So, in retail, main things, okay, you have to open up on time. You have to make sure you have the product for the customer. You have to make sure you help your customer. You have to be polite. And if you have a nasty customer that's like going like this, and cursing you out, don't say anything. Don't be nasty. Be polite, smug them with kindness, and then try to help them and then send them to a manager. But retail is falling apart, honestly, and it's a disgrace. I've had 20 years in retail, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of what's going on in retail. So hopefully all these companies can get their act together, and please don't get rid of the cash wrap. I don't care if it costs you money for bags. And that's another thing too. Why would you get cheap on bags? Why would you keep getting thinner and thinner bags that break, and then the customer's items break, and then you have a problem? The strongest thing in that place should be strong freaking bags. Supermarkets are afraid to overorder bags because they want to save a buck and they get a bigger bonus. Are you out of your mind? I could call up the district manager right now of this supermarket by me that they just have a problem with ordering bags. And they're giving us these paper bags that, why can't you just order plastic bags? Why? Why can't you order plastic bags? That you got to get these paper bags from like the 70s, 80s. That don't people go upstairs? How are you going to carry like this stuff? People used to start buying more stuff at the supermarket than back in the day. Okay, so order plastic bags for the supermarket on every register. Why? Why is it take away money that much from your bonus or from the store's inventory to have plastic bags that you don't use every register? And that's another thing. They always had 1 million registers, and they fill the whole front up, but they never have cashiers for those registers. Still, put bags on every register. And that money ordering bags should not factor into anything. It should be a mandatory that each register has so many amount of bags, and the company doesn't penalize the individual store for having freaking bags for their customers. Ridiculous. And stop trying to find ways as a company to save the company a buck by making thinner and thinner bags, because what happens is the bag rips and then you use in another bag, so you're not saving the company anything. If back in the day, people didn't have to worry about saving companies money because they made sure the company was run right. Okay, you got the stuff for the customer, you got the product, but because the companies are run like crap, they weren't looking to save a buck every which way. How about making sure your store is fully stocked of inventory, okay, and don't try to assume what the customer wants, because when you do that, you don't order what they need, and then your sales keep dropping. It's going to be like a downward domino effect. Okay, you don't pick and choose. Like if you have all these different companies that you order from, okay, and you decide, oh, that doesn't sell, and then all these people ask for it, you made a mistake, obviously. And I'm not saying fill the stores up with inventory where food goes bad or different things, but try not to like blackball companies because you think it doesn't sell. Okay? Like another thing, when the Twinkies come back in July, make sure you order Twinkies. Because everybody and their mother, for some reason, are going to buy Twinkies because it hasn't been around for months. Order Twinkies. And that's it, man. Have variety. And also, too, companies that are growing, stop it with the freaking remodels. Okay? You don't need to make a production out of remodeling your store. Okay? Fix the floors maybe, paint a little bit, but why spend tons of money remodeling? And this is the thing, certain stores shouldn't have a remodel, just a fixer-upper, okay? Not a massive remodel, because they spend so much money, maybe they make new departments, thinking that this is the way to go, a future outlook for the company, a new business model, and then it fails, and then they go out of business. Okay, Caldor wound up making all these new departments, thinking that it was going to sell, 30% better, and it wound up selling 30% worse, which was 60% drop. And guess what? Caldor's out of business. A lot of these places, KB Toys, they wanted super value, cheap toys from China. Guess what happened with that? Recalls from China. They went away from their original business model where they had video games. They had the hottest new video games, exclusive toys, and everything else. They used to have carpeted floors. Then they went to wood and all this other stuff, and then it became a crap-ass, excuse my language, toy store. So, that's it. Stop changing the business model. If you have to change the business model for the times, that's different, but don't go too much away from your original business model. And that's it. That's how retail's falling apart, and they need to fix things. KB Toys is owned by Toys R Us now. They should come back. And they should be like classic KB, I think. Alright, take it, bye for now.